Ladies and gentlemen, here is a tutorial on how to play college basketball in NBA 2K26. We're going to be covering how to play online with friends, what custom roster to use, how to switch your NBA teams to college teams, custom rules for college, and even importing your custom player to a college team. So let's get into it. And boys, if you find this tutorial helpful, please subscribe. We're on the road to 2,500 subs, so please do that. But let's hop in. When you hop into NBA 2K26, you're going to be obviously greeted with the home screen. You're going to go over to My NBA and click on that, and then click on My NBA and find a new save. Here are all my saves from all my YouTube videos. Click on a new save, click on the modern era, and here I'll take my face cam away so you guys can see everything a little bit better. On here, we're gonna press triangle on this top left box to switch over to the setup options. We're gonna go customize league rules, customize roster, customize league, actually we're not doing that, and then customize these two right here. And then here is if you want to play online. If you want to, this will pop up and say, yes, and it'll switch on, and that's where you're able to invite your friends to join that league. But obviously I'm not doing that, but that's how you do it. Then once we press advance, it's going to show you what roster to pick. You're going to go over to a user selected roster, and here's exactly what you're going to look up by content name. So press triangle on PlayStation, go down to content name, and then search up NCAA in all caps 2026. There's going to be a few that pops up. Go down to this one that has around 3,000 downloads. This is by Ty Bankroll. Shout out to this dude. I like this roster the most because he uses as many cyber faces as he could for players to look the most realistic, but I like that roster. Alrighty, now we are here to set up, go from 82 games to 829. I found quarter length either 6 or 7. Oh my god, either one of those is fine. And then make sure whatever you change it to, so if you change it to 6, make this 8, and if you change it to 7, make this to 9. It just makes simulation stats a little bit better and more realistic. For the playoff games, everything is going to be one game, just like how it is in March Madness. Click on R2 to go over to G League. Make sure you turn that off, and then I like to turn off, not necessary, but I like to turn off progressive fatigue and team chemistry, and not rule changes. We got keep that on. And then I like to turn trade logic off and injuries, just because I don't like those, and obviously you can't trade in college. Once you press options to go advanced, we are now here to rule changes. Here are all the rule changes you need to make. Shot clock is 24 to 35. Foul out is 6 to 5. Lane violation, you can eliminate the defensive key violation, allow zone defenses. Change the 8-second to 10 seconds. Click on implement a possession arrow, eliminate the transition foul, and that should be it. Once you press advance, you're here greeted with all 30 NBA teams. Press on triangle to select all of them and then advance. I usually like to auto generate my rookies because I usually don't use these rosters for more than 1 year. From here, we are now looking at all the rosters with all the college players. Like I said, all of these players are used with face or cyber faces, so they look a little bit more realistic. Got Cam Boozer, the entire Duke squad right here. Overall, they're very subject to change. If you want to make everybody a lot better of an overall, please change them. That's really your opinion. Got Braylon Mullins, everybody throughout here. But we can't be having these NBA teams as the teams. We gotta change them to college teams. So now I'm going to show you every single team to change and what college team to change them to, and then how to change them. Alright, so we are starting with the 76ers. This is Alabama because I looked up the players and their players match on the roster. You look up at the top right, you are the Philadelphia 76ers. You want to press circle to go to this menu, go to front office, team relocation, team or 2K share team designs, download team design. And from here, it's kind of like the roster selector. Press the keyword search by triangle and then look up Alabama. Once you search that, obviously a bunch of teams are going to pop up. Just choose one you like. I'm going to choose this one because they have an alternate uniform, a black and red one, which looks pretty cool. And then just wait for that to download and you go on to the next team. Obviously, I'm not going to be showing you this for every 30 NBA teams, but I will tell you what each team to switch them to. Change the Milwaukee Bucks to the Arizona Wildcats. Change the Chicago Bulls to the Arkansas Razorbacks. Change the Cleveland Cavaliers to the Auburn Tigers. And this is a big point. Once you go to change the Cleveland Cavaliers to the Auburn Tigers, you're going to want to enable online saves. This is because you're using so much data basically that you need to upload stuff online for this to work. Just make sure it's enabled, and then you can do this for all 30 NBA teams. Change the Boston Celtics to the Baylor Bears. Change the Los Angeles Clippers to the BYU Tigers, or I forget, wait, what are BYU? Cougars, my bad, BYU Cougars. Change the Memphis Grizzlies to Cincinnati. Change the Atlanta Hawks to obviously Duke because they got Cameron Boozer. Change Miami Heat to Connecticut, or Yukon, sorry. Change Charlotte to Florida Gators. Change the Utah Jazz to Gonzaga. Change the Sacramento Kings to Houston. Change the New York Knicks to Illinois. Change the Los Angeles Lakers to Iowa State. Change the Orlando Magic to the Kansas Jayhawks. Dallas Mavericks get changed to the Kentucky Wildcats. The Brooklyn Nets are changed to Michigan. The Denver Nuggets are changed to Missouri. The Indiana Pacers are changed to Louisville. The New Orleans Pelicans are changed to UNC or North Carolina. Darian Williams and the Detroit Pistons are changed to NC State. Change the Toronto Raptors to Oklahoma. Change the Houston Rockets to Michigan State. Change San Antonio to Syracuse. Change the Phoenix Suns to Purdue. Change Oklahoma City Thunder to the Tennessee Volunteers. Change the Minnesota Timberwolves to Texas Longhorns. Change Portland to UCLA Bruins. Change Golden State to USC. And finally, change the Washington Wizards to the Washington Huskies. All right, once you are done here, obviously I didn't do all that because that's taking a lot of time. I did change these few up here. But once you did do that, all these teams should have their college designs on them. Now there's only a few steps left to actually immerse yourself into this. And let's say I wanted to add a creator player on Alabama, let's say. So first off, we're going to go over to Alabama, see how my top right is Alabama. Go to front office, then roster. We've already looked at this. We're going to go down and cut their worst player, so we have room to add my player. Press circle again to get to this menu. Go down to options and then create player. Here is a list. If you haven't ever created a player before, this is just going to be this bar right here, but I've created a ton of players for my YouTube series. Hey, if you all remember Jalen Cross from my series, you're a real one. So let's say I want to create a player. You click on this, you create your player like you would in any other 2K ever. Once you save it, he will pop up here. Once you find that player down here, you want to go ahead and click on him. Say I want to add Jalen Cross, click on him, go to copy Jalen Cross to team, and then click on the team you want to copy him to. I want to copy him to Alabama. So here he is. I will do that. And now he is on Alabama. So if we go back, and then this time, instead of going to the roster, go to coach and then coach game plan, and then click on select. We'll be going to the minute roster right here. Press triangle to rebuild the rotations, and then click on yes. And Jalen Cross will be in the rotation. If you just want to leave it like this and play with everybody, you can do that, but I like to player lock myself, so you only control Jalen Cross, so you're like immersed in a my career. Doing that, you want to press circle again, go over to options, settings, and then position, and you want to press R2 or L2 to scroll over to Jalen Cross, or the player you want to player lock. Okay, so now since I did that, I'm gonna go hop and play in this game, Alabama versus Arizona. I will show you exactly what it looks like, and then we'll be done, boys. Here is exactly what I am doing. Again, if you want to look at the camera is a great camera option. Let me move my face cam again. It is on floor swivel and then 2-in-1. I turn auto flip off, and then I reverse the angle every halftime, because obviously you flip sides at halftime. I found this camera angle to be freaking awesome. Looks just like the My Career camera. So check this out if you guys want to as well. But literally, it's just like My Career. You pass it, you stay player locked on that dude. It is exactly like My Career. Hey. Hey, get like, ugh, I'm tough. But that should cover everything in this tutorial, guys. If you do have more questions, things I didn't cover, just comment down below. I'll surely answer them if I have the answer for them. But that should be it, guys. Like I said, if you're not subscribed, please do so. We're on the road to 2,500. That's about it, guys. Peace.